have. First things coming off, you're going to see Overclock, you're going to see Simtex. Is there anything that you're really looking to mix this up? Are we going to get pretty standard gameplay here? Because FaZe would be the team, I think, to really do something to piss off OpTic, right?
They would. And do you see them go back to the fast hands? They use the ends envy.
It worked, right?
It did work. I don't know how you still kind of throw OpTic off of their game.
I'm not sure. I mean, we've seen them try to attack ARs. That doesn't work. We watched Formal use 5 different ARs in one game. We've seen them try to attack Scump. I think that's almost an easier attack to attack Scump just because it's a little bit harder to play a sub in this game, I feel like.
Yes.
But still, when you're the best sub player in the game, I mean, give him a knife and he's probably going to put up 30 kills. I mean, the kid's a freak.
I doubt that entirely. So you got Scump and Clay, the last two to vote here in the ban and protect. The Cerberus is going to go at the hands of Scump. That is interesting.
Yeah,
I think that's one. I think we'll start to see more of the Cerberus.
Because that buff it got, it's crazy now, man.
Well, now you don't have to run those crazy MPs.
True.
Clay has an opportunity to leave the Shiva in for himself, and he gets rid of it.
Sure.
So Clay, one of the best players with those semi-automatic guns, you know, the guns kind of like the FAL, he gets rid of it there at the end. You're going to see Zuma run the Scythe. He's going to be using that one primarily in all the respawns for FaZe. And OpTic, you know, they kind of tend to go different ways as specialists. You're going to see Scump pretty much take Camo every game, Karma on Kinetic every game. You're going to have Heatwave go from Karma right there, Enable with Heatwave as well. I'm interested to see what Attach and Clay here go.
All right, well, let's take a look at these guys as they start to round out the final ones. Formal, no shocker there. He's going to go with the Scythe. You see Attach with the Kinetic. That makes sense, you know. Attach is kind of the, you know, Scump of FaZe when you're talking about aggressive subs here, so not shocked to see him go that route. Clayster, more than likely, what do you see him closing it out? So if it was going to be a mirror match, it'd be active Camo for him. Do you think maybe he opts to mix anything up?
I mean, he's taken a long time here. You would think if it was an easy decision to go with Camo, he would have picked it. Oh, well, I thought he would have picked something different, to be honest. You know, you spend that much time, you figure you're going to get a different result. I spoke with Zuma a little bit earlier in the week, and he said Clay was messing around with the Tempest, messing around with the Sparrow.
Sure.
But in a match of this magnitude, and with losing yesterday,
yeah,
I don't think you mess around in this match,
well,
obviously. What's crazy to even say is one of these teams is going to go in 2 this week.
That's very true. I saw Scump tweet that the other night, and I was like, oh, God. Like,
I didn't even think of that.
That's very true. That's crazy. I think one of these might go, well, not might. They are going to go 0-2.
Yeah, one of them definitely is.
Our first, we like to do these, you know, kind of Twitter polls throughout the games. The first one, we kind of talked about what can OpTic do to beat FaZe. The second, what can FaZe do to beat OpTic? Now, we need your predictions on Twitter. Who's going to take this? OpTic versus FaZe. Who's going to get the W? I think this is I did like a poll at like 8 a.m. Right when I woke up, I'm like, ooh, who's going to take this one? But use the hashtag CWLPS4. Include myself, at Maven, at Matt Mr. X, at COD World League. We'd love to know your guys' thoughts. We know these both teams have giant fan bases. You know, you guys are passionate. It's amazing how much you guys do for Call of Duty, and we love to hear your thoughts. So excited, man.
2 of the coolest fan bases. I remember like getting involved in Call of Duty. High five all you fans out there. I remember getting involved in Call of Duty. I didn't understand it. I was like, what is the big thing about OpTic and FaZe and whatnot? And then like as soon as I got into the scene like deeper and like understood it, like their fans are like die-hard fans. Like
it's crazy. No, it's amazing.
Wild. It's unlike anything else I think in esports.
It rivals because you know, my history, I did some stuff in esports, you know, played competitive Halo.
You were a math teacher at one point?
College. Yes, I was. I'm dressed like one. And then I kind of
substitute teacher. You weren't good enough to be
full-time. I left the esports scene and went to college when it started to really blow up. So when I came back, I was at the same thing. I was like, what? These guys are crazy. What is happening? Hundreds of thousands of followers, all these fans. You see how, you know, energetic, how much they support their teams, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's, you know, tuning in for live streams. You know, you see these guys, they show up. It doesn't matter what game they're playing. They're passionate about their teams, and it's really phenomenal to watch. So to you guys out there, thank you. Amazing stuff. But let's get ready. Game 1, locked and loaded. We're going to be going with evac Hardpoint. This is one where typically you see your sub players really go off, really take control. My eyes are on Scump and Attach.
Yeah, Scump and Attach, kind of hit it right in the head. I'd love to see if Zuma runs a sub. Kind of brings back a little bit of the...
You can't run. You have to have a couple subs on evac, right?
Yeah, I think well, we've seen Clay do it in the past.
We've seen 3 subs on evac.
We've seen Clay run a sub on this map before, and Zuma and Enable both run the AR, but you're new. So going to be 250 points to win, a 5-minute time limit, no respawn delay. The clock is going to stop on the overall game when one team is in possession of the hill.
Let's get it! I'm excited. I just got chills while I was screaming. Let's hop in. Game 1. Kicking things off with Guma. Guma. Yeah, great. Gunjar, Guma. All right, great start there, Maeve. But here we go. Pushing in. He's going to be EMP'd off the rip. You see nades flying in from everywhere. He's able to get shots in one before Enable's ultimately going to pick that up. And that's going to be a nice break here for FaZe. They've got early control. Enable grabs another before dropping. Clayster going to be racking up what time he can as the green wall comes flooding in.
And it's crazy to think Clayster, one of the best ARs in Call of Duty history, kind of giving up that title, the main AR on the team, to Enable. Just shows you how good Enable has been so far during Black Ops 3. You see Karma go to challenge to the stairs. He gets cut down by Zuma. Crim waiting to pick this one up. Just talk about it. I mean, one guy I don't think is going to dominate any of these games. I mean, I say that Enable's 4-1. It's really early, but I don't think this is a series where you see one guy go off and really just control the game. Okay. That both of these teams are just so stacked top to bottom that I don't think you see one guy just control the game. I think this is going to be, if one team is going to win, it's just going to be balanced efforts from everyone.
What's funny is I kind of feel like the slaying battle definitely went to FaZe early, but it was actually an OpTic gaming lead. I know it's not much of one, but I think they outslayed them by 5 or 6 kills. Still OpTic racking up a little bit more time, really using their kills effectively. You've got 2 in the hard point right now for OpTic Gaming. That's Crim peeking the corner wall run. He's going to fall. Karma there, though, to trade it out now, trying to watch back door.
His paint job. He's trying to watch everything. TK one.
TK all day, man. He's their biggest fan. Him and Kozlov go way back. They were friends in the 2nd grade.
You're going to see Zuma and Attach both winning gunfights. Formal in the hill. He's going to get cut down, and Zuma's going to fall off the map.
All right, Zuma, you're on a 3 streak. You're 8-3. He was getting too hot. He needed to cool off.
He was heating up too much. And you're going to see Crim trying to push through the front of this hill. Clay falls off the map as well.
All right, guys. Is that just like pregame nerves? A little antsy? Big matchup?
That outside wall run is, I don't want to say it's extremely difficult. Do you see Enable picking up 2 kills, making it look easy right there? You know, it's very difficult to do. You're going to see one player from OpTic push into the hill. Going to try and challenge this here at the end. Scum's actually going to push through as well. Now Karma's going to hit this lower wall run, trying to sneak over towards this 3rd hard point.
This heat wave could
catch
be huge.
The FaZe guys off guard, and he has heat wave. Does he like to use it? He's going to connect with one.
With the back player.
Doesn't connect with the back player. That's going to be Enable. He's going to win that gunfight. Scump up top, trying to dive into the hill. He's going to pick up one. Gets the HC car as well, but Scump 2 and 8.
Yeah, you know, slow start. They have the lead. That's why I kind of hopped him. I saw he's 1 and 7, struggling a little bit early on a map where you need him to go big, right? This is you need your sub players to come up huge. I think he will. Just give him a little time here. It's first game. It's a big matchup. Everyone, you know when you played sports in high school and stuff. You have that big matchup. You almost have too much energy right away. Yeah, you're too hyped up.
You come in too hyped. Yeah,
and you end up making some mistakes, and that can happen to these guys too. I know it's a little bit different, obviously, but it can certainly happen. Scump able to pick up 1 before he's gonna fall. You see Enable, Zuma tag teaming the hard point right now, trying to lock it down for their squad, trying to climb back in this one as they're trailing by 15 points. Enable gonna have that heat wave over, but let's rotate over more towards mid-map as Clayster and crew are gonna be trying to vie for this glass hard point, and he's gonna be taken out by Crim.
It's kind of funny. It's obviously a very close game, but the fact that OpTic is still in this game, in control of it, has the lead at this moment in time, and they are having a 3-11 start from Scump, the guy who you look at him and Formal to be really the 2 that are going to lead this team in the slaying department. That is not a bad thing for OpTic Gaming.
That's what's scary, though.
Because you figure Scump is going to heat up eventually. He's not going to play that way the entire game.
Yeah, he's able to get 2 there. He's on a 3 streak now, you know, getting a streak going, picking up, what's he working on his HC now? If he can work towards that lightning, work towards that Hellstorm eventually, just get something going. Going to bring it back in the game very, very quickly. And he's someone that, I mean, when you talk about players that can explode from having average games to huge ones, I mean, he's on the top of the list as guys that could just erupt. As you see now, it's a 4 streak. Can he keep this going? It's wild to think he's on a 4 streak and he's 6-11 right now. But he's staying alive, tries to turn on one, not able to pick it up. Crim there, not able to trade it out either. The hard point going to go to FaZe here. OpTic, however, still maintaining the lead, Matt.
Yeah, and it's going to go back towards that center hard point here, Maven, in the second half. I think you really need the guys on FaZe, when they get control of the hill, do a better job of slaying inside of it. Sometimes I feel like the issue with FaZe is that they get too aggressive once they get in the hill. Like Zuma and Attach just want to run around so much and slay so much that they get in the hill, and then they just keep pushing it out when they really just need to play almost like how Scump is here, just kind of baiting these kills out, waiting for players to just run
wait for them to come to you, right? You know, I know there's some instances, you know, especially when you're talking about Advanced Warfare, for being that 1-2 challenge was almost easier because of the movement in the game. There is an element to that in this, but I still think you're better off, you know, L-triggering, holding a corner than you were certainly in the last title, seeing the patience there pay off for Scump as he picked up the kill on Clay. But they're still controlling the lead right now. Gonna hop to Attach. He's 15 and 12. FaZe trying to climb back in this one. Gonna try and switch back and forth. Scump, he's back-to-back 4 streaks now, trying to pick up a 5th. That's going to be...
And this is the thing with this guy. He's going to heat up eventually. You're not going to shut him down for an entire game.
He's 9-1 over his last couple spawns here. So he certainly, I think the heating up has happened here. He's trying to grab another one. That's full streak.
Yeah, he's 10-1 over his last 2 respawns.
And what I said, you know, as soon as he gets some streaks going, gets a little bit more into it, he can erupt in like a violent manner. He can just go huge.
And the thing that we talked on it a lot last year, I feel like, and it's the same kind of situation this year, is that if he is having a bad game, you need to punish them. Like, if he's having a bad game early, like how he got off to, what, 2-9 or something like that, you need to punish OpTic.
You need to be in the lead, right?
You need to be up by, you need to have a pretty sizable lead. You need to have, like, a 60, 70-point lead. Because if you don't have a lead, you know he's going to start to heat up. It's going to be almost impossible to kind of get it back.
Well, EMPs for days coming in. That was able to pick up a couple before he's ultimately going to fall. Eyes on with attached, not able to win a gunfight. And you know, we were talking about Scump struggles. Look at Clay right now. He's 8-21, and I know he's playing a little bit of a different role in this game, rocking the sub. This is one of the tougher maps for a sub. Well, I guess, no, sorry, one of the tougher maps for a sub player in the sense that you really need to have an impact.
Who's that sneaky OpTic guy all the way back there? I bet it's Karma. Nope.
Yep. Sure enough. Let's check out Karma then now.
And the Hellstorm's going to come in from Scump, and then you figure Karma's going to attack right away, and he's able to get one. The Hellstorm doesn't do much of anything, but now you see the pinch starting to come in from OpTic Gaming.
Oh,
2 big kills. And look at those 2 kills. Obviously, you know, Karma's +1, but what those 2 kills do for the OpTic team, just look at how much time they're going to get off this hill because of those 2 kills. They control the spawn, and they're able to hold it.
I love this play by
and lock it down,
Just waits patiently around the corner. He checks with the car out to the right, sees there's nothing there, checks inside, grabs one, and then due to his patience, he's going to have one fly by him.
You just can't put a value on how big those 2 kills are.
Well, from Karma and then from him,
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Those 4 kills in total probably are going to give them, what, a solid 40 points?
No, 60 seconds. FaZe has not gotten any time on this hill. It's going to be this is going to be a 50-second type of hill for OpTic Gaming. I mean, that is huge.
It's Karma opening it up with the sneaky play in the back, and then Formal coming up with those 2, doing a really excellent job. But cycling through players on FaZe now. They're getting smacked up a bit right now, 208-95. OpTic Gaming fans on their feet as they're controlling the course of... I love that they said that, like there's OpTic fans out here like dancing. They're on their feet in the bleachers. Everybody's hyped. There's green everywhere. I have no idea why I said that.
Yeah, no, you're going to see...
You're welcome.
The hill going to be contested. Attached just trying to stay alive as players surrounding him from all angles. Scump going to call in the lightning. And this one, Maven, not how I expected it to go.
It was close early.
It was, and then OpTic just started to blow this one open, really on that 3rd hard point. That's when it started to switch.
Ultimately, I feel like it was really Scump coming alive, too.
Yeah.
You know, he was, what, was it 2-9? And then he goes off, gets full streaks. A big part of that. And then all these guys just capable of coming up with clutch plays. I feel like we've only talked about Formal a little bit with that one play, but quietly, he's 30-21, leading all Slayers. I mean, he's got a solid 6 kills, more than everyone. He has 20 more kills than Clayster.
Yeah.
I know they're different roles, but
I mean,
they're
much different roles. You can't really kind of
20 kills is a big difference.
You can't really kind of put them like side by side.
I know.
It's huge.
Yeah, but regardless of your role,
20-something kills missing on the map, that's just massive, and it is going to result in a 250-96 win in Game 1 for OpTic Gaming.
You know, I joked. It was what, me, you, and H-Shot doing the Thursday show, and I said the team that won the Hardpoint was going to win the series. You guys pressured me into making a decision, and I said OpTic 3-0. I was kind of sort of joking around at the time, but I'm not feeling terrible about it after that game 1.
I don't see a world where FaZe gets 3-0'd, but I mean,
I don't think they should
did not look good in that first hard point.
I joked about it, but that game 1, and it was kind of this slow build for, like you said, Scump just kind of struggle, just erupts, like just punches. There's like something holding him down. He just erupts like that, and he goes, what, 10-1 over that period, just completely dominates. And the whole team, you know, you had Karma making plays on early rotations. You had Krim, you know, despite the fact that you might not see on the scoreboard at all times, you know, Krim's leading the squad. You know the positions they're in, the stuff that's happening. Krim's that vocal game leader.
In Hardpoint specifically, Krim and Karma are going to be the 2 who they're not going to put up the most kills, but if they're not controlling the spawns and that type of thing, those are the 2 guys you really look at, because Karma is going to be, you know, one of the first guys on rotation all the time, trying to get that pressure with the SMG on the opposite side of the map. And, you know, you kind of look at Krim to be the one who's kind of going to guide the players where to go. And you got Formal 31-21, leads the lobby in kills, 24-25 from Karma, minute in the hill. Scump finishes +3. Krim actually had a fantastic game. We actually didn't talk about it a lot. 26-18, 21 in the
hill.
hill.
Well, really, it's it's 26 and 18. I mean, that's a fantastic effort when it comes to kills, but the 221 is what stands out for me. And 2.5 minutes of the hard point is just a massive game.
Second highest kills in the lobby.
I feel like we didn't even spend too much time on with him. You know, I tried it when I'm controlling. You try to kind of hop the guys on streaks. The guy's getting close to making big plays. And
well, I don't want to say
just like quietly goes plus.
Well, I don't want to say like Crim is a different player now, but you remember in Black Ops 2, like every like flashy play like was Crim. I felt like. And then now you're not really seeing like the flashy plays from Crim. He's just playing so solid.
With age comes wisdom, my dear friend.
With age comes wisdom. You have a lot of wisdom.
I have a metric.
You have a lot of age, which means you must have a lot of wisdom. But OpTic dominates game 1. Looking on the FaZe side of things, the thing that really stands out, Clay, 11 and 29.
That's rough, and you know.
Yeah.
Especially for Clay too. You got to think about this. Like, you know, there was the incident, whatever you want to call it, the exploit. You know, they get the loss with complexity. They end up losing their next series. Now he comes in, and you know, there was a little bit of backlash from the community. I mean, he was dealing with it a little bit. You saw it on Twitter, and then you see him coming in and just opens with 11 and 29. I mean, if you're Clay, you got to be frustrated right now, right? You need to have a big series. You need to step it up. You're the leader. You're the energy. You're the hype man. You're the guy that really. You're kind of the glue to this team, right? You keep them all together. He needs to step it up.
Clay's dealt with it before.
Oh, no,
I mean, this is a guy who's
This is not me, like, calling out Clay. I think Clay is capable of, you know, goddamn anything in this game. He's incredible.
He's won every tournament. I mean, every tournament there is, every big tournament.
Yeah.
He's won one.
But I just think you can't go 11-29. He needs to have a better performance if they're going to win this series. I mean, that's an easy point. But
I'll agree. Yeah,
S&D, I mean, over the course of titles, that's one where I feel like Clay sometimes just erupts. You know, he's the guy that can drop 15 kills from time to time. I don't know that he's the best S&D player on their team. I think that's attached. But we could see a big effort. He's got to be pissed right now. You know, he wants to show up in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, he probably kind of goes to the rest of the team after that one, you know, in between these first 2 maps. And it's kind of like, hey, like, that's my bad. Like, pin that one on me. Like, you guys were fine. After this one, we'll figure it out. So just waiting to get into the lobby here.
Yeah, I'm going to
for game number 2. I think the players actually just kind of
we'll find
putting
out.
the lobbies together.
We'll put together
in a second. But game number 2, it's going to be a stronghold S&D.
All right. Well, this one, you know, when you have a player, you have players like Formal, like Attach that are very, very strong with the sniper. You got to think the 2 things I'm thinking about the most are going to be overkill and the SVG. You know, how are those targeted and ban protect? Who do you think the sniper favors in this one? Because you know you can be an impact player on strongholds. Not everything. I mean, getting into mansion's the big thing, but those first bloods can be huge. Who do you think, if it's in play, if SVG, thermal, whatever it is, who's that favor? I basically am asking you who's better sniper, Formal or Attach right now, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
pretty close. I mean,
it's about even.
They're very good.
I wouldn't say this one player is significantly better than the other with the sniper rifle. I'm trying to think of a way. I feel like Formal has the better. I don't want to say like raw skill with the sniper rifle. Like Attach is like sick with it.
Yeah.
But I feel like Attach puts himself in better spots with the sniper rifle. Different spots.
Okay.
Like I feel like
I get that. I get what you're saying.
I feel like Formal will kind of go back to like if he knows.
You're saying that Formal's an overconfident, horrible player, and I'm glad that everyone watching heard that.
Matt, I didn't say anything like that whatsoever.
That's what I heard.
I just said that.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Formal can get when we were Cole, and this is during Ghost.
You think he should put the sniper away?
This was during Ghost. We knew where he was going to play with the sniper rifle every single time.
But that's when he first started playing. I remember all he could do was snipe at S&D. I remember Ghost. Like you told me that before the matchup. You're like, dude, we're just gonna throw nades where he snipes. And like, you'd watch Formal nose your eye, and be like,
no, we would you would just stun the spot, and you would just rush. Rush, and there was no like counter for it. Obviously, he is a much better player now than he was during that. But if he goes with the sniper rifle and falls in love with it and goes back to the same spots over and over again, FaZe is a team that is smart.
We'll punish him.
They will punish him.
All right. Well, what do you think? I think the sniper will be a big player in this, but obviously, the real big thing is your ability to either hold mansion pushes or break into mansion. Do you think? One of these teams maybe is kind of better at hitting a spot. You know, when you're trying to break in, when you're doing kind of a bait and switch, who do you give that edge to?
I like the aggression of Zuma and Attach.
I can see that, yeah. I mean, I think Zuma, one of the best players in the past several titles. He is an absolute freak of nature.
Yeah.
Zuma, certainly one that could set the pace.
I'll tell you what, though, we've seen in the past when OpTic Gaming starts to get rolling, if they roll through this search and destroy, you may be right with the 3-0 prediction. Because this is a team that once they start to get going, it's tough to stop.
The only reason I
said... You got to beat them early.
The only reason I said 3-0 is because I said it was going to be whoever won the hard point, and I favored OpTic in the hard point. And then when I went through it, I'm like, well, if they win the S&D, that's bad. That's trouble. And that's kind of where my head's at as well. So this S&D, very important. Do I think it's a must-win for FaZe? Not necessarily, but it's pretty darn close to one. You can't go down 2-0 to OpTic. If they pull off that reverse sweep and beat OpTic 3-2 after being down 2-0, that would be one of the most ridiculous things. Well, to be fair, let's think back to Advanced Warfare. What was it? They were down 3-0 in a best-of-7, weren't they?
Was that the Gfinity?
And that was to Epsilon, but then they beat OpTic in what, 2 best-of-7s, was it? No, that was... Oh, I think I'm combining 2 events right now, aren't I?
You're
combining season
like
3
events and like stapling them together.
I think I just did that.
Yeah.
I just did that.
Yeah, you did. But it would have been a great story if somebody would have believed it.
FaZe did a lot of ridiculous things through that title, though. I mean, the come from behind win it down 3-0 in a best-of-7 to winning, back-to-back best-of-7s coming from losers to beat OpTic. I mean, they did a lot of crazy things throughout the end of that title. And to be fair, I mean, if you didn't watch Advanced Warfare, I know we have some fans coming from Black Ops 2. You know, you're hopping back.
New fans in general.
Or new fans. If you don't really know the history between these two teams, I'm not sure what the delay is. Sorry, guys. I think we're just waiting on some players to get in the lobby.
Story time with Maven, though, is great.
If you're not sure of the kind of story of this, I mean, OpTic Gaming.
Paint the picture, Maeve. Paint the picture.
OpTic Gaming made it to the finals of every single event in Advanced Warfare. Except God Champs. They were a complete just dynasty rolling. I know there was a team. You had Nade Shot at first. They ended up bringing Karma in. They don't slow down a bit. They just keep winning. They won events with Enable. They won 3 events in back-to-back weekends. It looked like no one could stop them. This FaZe roster comes together. OpTic did not beat them on LAN one time.
Yeah.
It was what, 3? Was it 3 LANs or 2?
OpTic wins the final event of the year.
But didn't play FaZe. Yeah. So, I mean, OpTic had the better year. Don't get me wrong. But these two teams, there's some animosity between the players, between the fans.
We've seen these two play on LAN? It's got to be...
Season 3, probably finals?
Wow. It's a long time.
Probably season 3 finals, because we had the qualifier event, but that was obviously just for getting in the league, so they didn't actually match up in that. This is the first time we've had them play in the season. So, yeah, they haven't – I know they've done some scrimming and stuff. But, yeah, there haven't been a ton of matchups between these guys. And I'm excited that we're able to talk about these storylines again, as I think we may be creating a new lobby.
Yeah, we might.
I'll wait until I hear what's going on. But, all right, give us 1 sec, guys. Again, apologize. It's just
I actually blame Maven completely for this.
Is it my fault?
Yeah, I do. I
get near technology and it just
ruined the whole kind of flow of this match.
Stops working.
A little bit of a break's not bad for FaZe, I'll tell you that.
Okay, that's a good question then. You know, you coach and all that great stuff that you did. How do you, when you're talking about a break like this, if you're the team that lost, the team that won, is that always pretty much going to favor the team that lost? The added break?
Depends. Like when we would win games, like we would try and start the next one up like ASAP. Well,
you get on a roll. You want to keep going. I mean, you want to keep the pressure on. You want to keep fighting.
But then we knew there were some teams that would argue, and then
you want to leave them to argue with each other.
We would like. Aches would say he's going to the bathroom, and he wouldn't actually go to the bathroom.
So you're basically like
sit there
a Belichick, like calling timeout on a last-second field goal, just icing them a little bit, making them spend more time thinking and talking.
Make them argue. Just let them sit around and just argue and think about it a little bit.
You're a sick individual.
No, it's just a mind game when you play.
I like that. I can respect that. I respect that. Reminds me of some of the stuff I've heard like Tiger Woods do on the course, just to mess with other golfers. Like, on a putt, it takes like his sweet time, 90 seconds to hit his putt, just to like mess with people. But
so I'm in the game.
Oh, you got in? All right, let me try to get in as well. I'm coming.
But no, I definitely think there's some kind of mental mind game you can play there. What, you're in?
Oh, I'm in. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. He's looking at me weird, and like I see him in the lobby.
No, but it showed me joining. It was just me and like the host. I was like, okay.
So the team's going to stay on the same sides.
Yes. I think for the first couple of maps here.
Yep.
Just, I believe, waiting on one player to switch, and we should be ready to kick off Search and Destroy. If you missed the Twitter question earlier, it was who's going to take this, OpTic versus FaZe. Feel free. Use the hashtag CWLPS4. We would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Who's going to take it? Who's going to win? I know it's a little bit unfair now. OpTic Gaming took the first win, but FaZe.
But you'd look awesome if you took FaZe and they were coming and they came back.
That's true. Do you go with the gutsy
friends?
Call? Yeah, the flashy call.
Then you can always just blame it on the fact that OpTic was already up.
Yeah, you give yourself so many excuses there.
Yeah, you give yourself a lot of excuses.
That's how Matt leads his life.
There's actually nothing that could go wrong with making that prediction.
Sure, it's a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win. So we're going to get in the Banner Protect phase. Let's see. FaZe likes to change anything up. Crim going to get rid of Overkill right away. So targeting that sniper rifle of Attach.
Yeah, I thought Overkill SVG would be the two things that would be the most, I guess, targeted early. Not surprised to see that go right away.
And I believe we've seen Clay snipe on this map before.
Yeah,
I mean, Locust, so.
Honestly, every one of this game, you know, Karma loves to snipe, Formal loves to snipe. I mean, we've seen, I remember what was that? It was, oh God, all the way back to Ghost. Remember Crim like sniping? They have 3 snipers on Octane S&D. I remember Crim having some wild plays. So all of these guys certainly more than capable of getting it done.
Naval and Karma taking a lot of time here to pick, and you're going to have Karma getting rid of stuns. High Caliber leaves as well. That one you kind of figure is going to be a standard amongst all game modes. Rapid Fire still in, so it makes it through the first 4. You're going to see Formal getting rid of flashes. Rapid Fire going to go in the hands of Attach. Still have Kinetic in, still have Camo in. Vesper, Shiva no longer available.
Shiva, do you go after ability or do you go after maybe Thermal or something? Probably an ability. You still have all the abilities. Like
I don't think Scump gets rid of
he won't
Kinetic.
He won't get rid of Kinetic, yeah. If anything, he just, that's his
Unless,
his
like, they are really trying to hammer down on him, then he needs to get rid of Kinetic.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought Thermal might be.
Especially on this map when you can jump and, like, see over... like from bunker side, you can see in the top mansion what we saw Chino do the last map.
Yeah.
Like Thermal makes that shot a lot easier.
Yeah, I've seen Formal hit that a bunch of times. Certainly a snipe that he's comfortable going with. You've seen Attach hit that one as well. So.
And now you don't have to run cold.
But you don't have overkill. So something we're gonna need to pay attention to really is when you're talking about these snipers. You know, are they able to get early picks? Are they able to get early kills? Because you know that you can become a liability. You know, the longer the round goes, the more your liability as a sniper.
If you are losing rounds and you have the sniper rifle in your hand, you have to know when to ditch the sniper rifle.
Certainly do.
You're gonna have Scump finish things off with a kinetic armor. No shock there. And what are we missing on the side of FaZe? So you're gonna have Zumo go overdrive.
So
he is a perfect player for an overdrive.
So it's the difference is going to be overdrive and vision pulse. I think I'm definitely more of a fan of overdrive. I know.
And I don't hate the decision from either player because Formal isn't really going to get that aggressive. You figure he's going to be one with the snipe in his hands.
Yeah, and Vision Pulse we saw it be very effective. Honestly, if you talk about the prior series, we saw Overdrive get Chino killed, and we saw Vision Pulse come up huge for Ake. So you've definitely, you can see kind of a back and forth between those two. I think players getting much more effective with Vision Pulse, certainly learning better ways to use that, be as effective as you can, not just give away your location.
Well, it's good to set up teammates because you ping out on the radar yourself.
Sure.
Like, it's not a great idea. Obviously, you know where they are, but they're going to know where you are.
Yeah.
It's great to ping it and then have a teammate kind of come in there. I think that's how we saw Envy use it. Or I think it's still good in, like, 1v1 scenarios or something where DT used it in the 2v1 where they're trying to catch that last guy, trying to hunt him down, don't exactly know where he's playing.
Okay.
And I think those are like your really good situational uses of Vision Pulse.
All right, well, just waiting on these guys to finish creating their classes for Game 2. Apologize for the delays between this one, but we are now ready to rock. S&D, I have no idea who this one favors, but so pumped for this one. What an incredible series. I want this to go 5 games. I know.
I want it to last as long as possible.
I know I said there, yeah, what did I say earlier? Game 11. So best of 11 here between these two teams. I'd watch it. I'd cast it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you'd have an option to cast. We actually don't have any other commentators here besides us
job.
and allegedly Jack and Revit. But
they're holding hands over there. How adorable.
No, they're not. That's a blatant lie. He's just trying to throw them under the bus. Yeah,
they were.
Sure, OpTic fans are happy Jack's not casting this one.
Yeah. It's amazing, you know. Jack said he had like thousands of mentions last night. Like, do not cast OpTic. I had so many saying, please cast OpTic tomorrow. Like, do not let Jack please cast OpTic. It's cracking up. It's so funny, and it's just one of those things, you know. It's just like, listen, I'm totally fine being the OpTic Gaming Lucky Charm. I'm okay with that role. Fine with it.
Yeah, evidently you're the bad luck charm for Team Calver, though.
Yes, yes, I am.
Yeah, game loading up right now.
You know, everything in the world, there's a yin and a yang.
Checks and balances. There you go.
There's synergy. See, I told you they're holding hands over there.
No, they're not. You can clearly see both of their hands. They're not holding hands whatsoever. But nope, it was a good try by you. You'll throw anybody under the bus.
Anyone.
Yeah,
anyone. But no, this one, I definitely Game 2.
Yeah,
you have to pick. Give me a round score and who's taking it, Matt. This is the infamous FaZe map, you know.
You know what? I'm going to go with the same score they had on that map. I am going to go 6-4 FaZe.
All right.
They get redemption.
6-4 FaZe. Can they bring it back? Now let's check Attach. Attach will have the SVG. Let's check Formal real quick. He will not. So just Attach going to be sniping off the rip. Can he find anyone checking
Interesting
bunker?
to be looking over towards bunker, but
see nobody's home. So Formal is going to have, I think, the early pressure here. He's trying to check Attach, trying to check top. I love this snipe angle. It's so awesome. Gets up there for a second. Do they opt to apply pressure through bunker? Yeah, they really just trying to get eyes here?
OpTic has to know not to peek that top spot. You're going to have Karma playing over by the back tables. You have Krim playing by wall run.
Who's going to win the patience battle here?
And Scump playing bottom. I think you're going to have OpTic win this one. There's no reason for them to push outside of Mansion. But I wonder if this is going to be a FaZe push that's going to go through bunker. No, they're going to actually wrap that bomb back. You see one player get up top, and it's going to be Clay drawing that first blood onto Karma, and Clay not able to win the second gunfight. That would have been huge there, taking out Krim.
Krim does get one, though. It's going to be Attach. Clay and Abel, we got a 3v3 here, but they have so little time to work with. Let's check the bottom. It's going to be Scump. He's playing back steps. He's what I thought a good position, but he gets called out from the top. He's got to be frustrated now. Another one drops. It's going to be Formal by himself. He's the one playing outside. Bomb going to be going down at A. Can Formal pull off the absurd here? He's trying to push forward. Finds one. Gets shots in. Able to win that one. Can he get out? And tries to wrap around the corner.
You talked about how Clay needed to bounce back.
I said, you know, he has these games in S&D, man, where he blows up. He just ends up dropping like 15 kills. Was it really an ace to open things up?
Yeah. And you can look at it. He picks up 4 kills
that round. Do you think he heard me?
You know, I think Clay probably values your opinion
more than anyone
else's, and he comes out after a poor performance in game 1.
Let's go, Clay! All right.
He's got an HC right off the rip,
That's huge, too, because there was not much time. They played that so slow. I mean, he had to go big or they were losing that round. It's just, when it comes down to, like, you're trying to get a bomb down or trying to apply pressure with 30 seconds left, I mean, that round was slow as could be.
OpTic using almost a similar setup to kind of how Envy was, where you had the 2 players over in middle, 1 guy over by bunker.
Oh.
I love watching that. Somebody's going to get their head ripped out.
Somebody's in trouble. He tries to snap it there, not able to get it. Tries to back him up with a grenade. Pushes him back for the time being. But now that they know the sniper's there, I think Formal's thinking, hey, it's my time to try and get forward. So he's going to have to push through bunker. But who's that laying in the back? It's his good buddy, Enable. And this is not a fight you want to take. Oh, my God. I did not think Formal would be able to get eyes on it with him that quick. But Enable was like, nope. Dips out immediately.
I tell you what, obviously, pro players, much better than you or I. But that would have been one of the last spots I would have looked coming around that corner. And you saw Formal just takes those shots right to Enable's dome. Enable able to get out of there, stay alive. But now just a ton of pressure being put on by Formal. Did they forget
about Formal? Oh, God.
I thought he wins that with
I thought he was going to get 2. He got shots in both. Is there anyone there to clean it up? No, Zuma's going to push through and pick up Scump. They now have a 3v2 advantage, but Bomb is down, and Karma and Krim are in good spots here to deal with this.
And they get rid of Clayster, so that is huge, because Clay's still working on those streaks. You see how far away both these players are playing. Attach with a snipe shot.
That's what they should do. Yeah,
he is going to miss, but now there's really nothing Attach can do outside of pulling off one of the craziest clutches we've ever seen.
Yeah.
OpTic going to win round number 2.
So that, I mean, they did it perfectly. They got it planted for B on that side. They were able to push back here to half ball and really just play it very, very smart. Karma, Krim biding their time. Incredible job there and finally finishing up Attach. But, you know, with Formal pushing through bunker there, is that really what kind of opens up the plant? Because he draws, focus from 2 players there kind of towards bunker, and one of those players that would have been applying pressure there towards the bomb, because Attach had to kind of rotate back.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really cross. Once Formal's in there and you know it and the bomb goes down at B, you are not able to cross towards that bomb site. And now you're going to see FaZe putting a lot of pressure over towards A right away. Enable just trying to put some shots down up top. You see Zuma and Clay hit this fast. And we talked about which team we liked when they had to put pressure on and just force those gunfights. And I thought it would be Zuma and Attach, but
nice shots.
Really Enable and Clay early.
Enable and Formal feels like just bumping into each other all over the map, regardless of where they head. It's going to be Scump now by himself. 1v4. FaZe looking so good here early on in S&D. I know it's tied up, but this round basically in the books. Unless Scump can pull off a miracle here. 40 seconds. Trying to just decide what options do I have right now.
He really has almost none.
I mean, look at the map. This is terrifying.
So 1v4. The bomb is down over at B. taking a ton of time here, just trying to maybe catch one guy off guard. He's going to be able to win that gunfight versus Clay. The player behind.
I thought there was a player right behind. Oh, he jumped out towards Lot. I was about to say there's a player right behind him. Where did he head? Zuma.
Well, he's just trying to pick up kills right now, Scum.
He gets two.
Who planted the bomb for FaZe?
Please don't
There's
throw
not
your bodies
It's
to him
It's
here.
8 seconds left.
Yeah.
And he's going to jump off. Doesn't want to give the points to the guy who planted the bomb. Don't know if that player was actually still alive. Something didn't take note of at the beginning of the round, but
those are the shots. Those shots by Nable were incredible. Just takes off the tip of the skull there of Formal. Able to line those up behind B. Yeah, nice shots there. One of the more accurate players in the game. 2-1 advantage for FaZe. Let's hop into round 4. See what FaZe can do on the defensive side of things. But who do you want to watch? Actually, let's go to the offense. Who do you want to watch here for OpTic?
Let's go on with Karma. Let's see what he's going to do in this round. He was playing over towards half wall the previous round. This one looks like he's going to kind of assist. And look at this. FaZe is going to hit Snow pretty hard, and OpTic has absolutely nobody over there.
That's an easy kill. That's Zuma back-to-back first bloods. He may have had more than that, but he gets in a prime position. They're able to trade it back, though. Krem's able to snag one. Formal's pushed all the way up. So now they basically just flip spawns. Take a look at the minimap here. Complete control is just reverted. It's like they're on opposite side of the map. When this situation happens, Matt, where would you prefer the plant to come in?
Honestly, at this point, I think you get the bomb down as fast as possible.
Okay,
and then you
so does it matter? Just get it planted?
Sides. No, I think when you have
But it's harder to defend B from this side, right? A little easier to defend A?
When you have so many question marks on the map of where people are coming from, you get the bomb down, and you just make it a little bit easier on yourself. There's no reason to let it go.
Oh, Scump was a big one because
Scump just...
I think he got second shot there to a degree. Zuma's going to be able to hunt one down.
I think he got like third or fourth shot, and he just wins the fight. But
he has overdrive. Can he make it happen? He gets one. Now, do you opt to use your HC here or maybe pop overdrive? The player's going to fly at him, and Scump, risky business, but able to pick it up there with the nice shots. He has a clutch gunfight in bunker, has to rotate back, has to be the hero OpTic Gaming needs, and he comes up big in the one-on-one.
I tell you what, Zuma goes in the top mansion, and that just makes that round a little bit more interesting because I think Scump probably goes out to challenge that, and Zuma has a great vantage point if he traps him in that corner, and obviously we know a little bit better than the players because we have X-Ray and we can see these things happen way in advance. But see if Zuma uses overdrive on this one. I don't think it's going to be a push over towards bunker. I don't think you'd use overdrive.
No, it looks like he would have used it by now, you think.
Well, they may be going over here to try and pick off one guy real quick. So we've seen this before where teams will go right through bunker and pick up one.
There's no one watching this at all.
No.
Well, they have to.
Well, at this point, if you are OpTic, you have to know that this push is coming. Yeah.
Now, if you're Formal, do you flank here immediately? You probably do. Let's check if Formal's able to get in behind. He pushed pretty quick on map. Oh, they're going to rotate back. This is bad news, Bears. But he's able to get one. I thought he was just going to try to back out there, but he's at least able to get one. Going to be a 3v2 advantage for FaZe. How do you even defend this right now, Matt?
I mean, at that point, I thought you would have liked to see even Krim push up. It's a little bit risky, but at that point, you kind of trap FaZe over towards this bunker side of the map to give them the opportunity to rotate all the way back. And
surprise!
Scump thinks that's going to be clear. It is definitely not. The push still coming through bunker. They don't line up. It's going to be FaZe able to win that offensive round, take a one-round advantage.
All right, here we go. FaZe, you know, it was a kind of unorthodox push. They have everyone in bunker. It's really slow. They go into bunker. They wrap back and pick off one where they push back through. If Scump would have played that patiently with Krim, maybe they get some crossfire going and able to pick up the kills. But you're kind of, I mean, as soon as Scump dropped, I mean, Krim was he was dead to rights.
Oh. Yeah, no, there was no way Krim was going to win that. Especially, all FaZe had to do was just fly all 4 players out. Let's see, do we see an overdrive use on defense at Azuma? That's what I'm interested to see, how he's going to use this. And he does. And he gets into mid. I don't know if they have
he gets into a spot where he's getting shot at. So
yeah, not the best use of overdrive.
I
think he actually got caught, and he was trying to push out right away.
It looked awkward just when we got to him, right?
It looked really awkward. I think he was actually trying to just push out through that mid door and get around towards that contest spot that we see a lot of players sit in Hardpoint and take out that player. But smarter decision to back up. Once you know you're not going to win that, you know, I don't want to say like a timing battle, but I feel like it is a little bit of a timing battle.
Oh, certainly is.
You're not going to win that. You just back up.
But here comes the break. They're trying to work in towards matching. He just checks top for a second and flies back out. No one really gotten much information now. Now here comes the push. Now this is going to be bad, I think, for Formal if he opts to come through. But he just checks door and backs away. Let's check the bomb carrots. And we Scump trying to get planted. Does he push up top with kinetic right away?
No.
I thought he might try to push
2 players
now
no,
you're definitely not worried about it. Yeah. And another going to come in for Karma. He's having a big round here. Final player going to be Enable. He's in a 1-on-4. Not a whole lot he can do, and he is just going straight back of the map.
Oh,
I thought for a second he's just like, nah, I'm just going to end this round now. Okay, there he is. Right, so he jumped back in. I'm like, what is his plan here? Thank you for saving us 30 seconds.
You don't want to give them points with the bomb. You don't want to give them points with the kill.
I thought he tried to get a kill or two first, like we saw Scump do, but he
I honestly think we're going to start seeing that more often. A lot of players will play for that 1v3 clutch, whatnot, but let's say a guy like Karma, I think he picks up, what, 2 kills that round? Let's say he dies at the hands of Karma. That's 300 points, and there's no reason to give away that extra 100.
Very, very true. Well, let's, speaking of Karma, so he needs 200. He's still got a ways to go. Nobody obviously going to be on streaks for FaZe. Let's check streaks real quick. Kinetic not up yet. Camo really, really close, and then Enable has his Heat Wave.
Formal getting first blood there on Attach. Don't think you see any abilities used. You're going to see Formal win another gunfight. Nice bait and switch there. Zuma uses his HC. Now he's going to have to get all the way over, try and help Glacier, but guess what? Glacier's dead already. So it's just going to be Zuma, last one alive here, 1v4 scenario.
So back-to-back 1v4 is just not what you want to see if you're a FaZe fan. They're struggling to get these past couple rounds going. OpTic starting to come alive. They should have a 4-3 advantage in this one. If you are tuning in a little bit late, I don't know how you could be, but if you missed game 1, a very, very commanding win for OpTic Gaming. Zuma able to win one gunfight. Didn't get tagged up too bad. Might be able to challenge another. He's going to check by the B-bomb site. There's one more. He's able to snap onto that player. The hipfire coming in, but ultimately Karma wins the close-range gunfight. This had just been him hipfiring and made here.
Yeah, I tell you what, he wins this gunfight early, and he gets away over towards mid. That 1v2 becomes very interesting.
All right. Well, there
you go, Karma.
I thought that was one Zuma was going to win, but Karma able to take him out there. They've got the round advantage here. They're going to be switching back to offense. That was a good defensive round coming out of Formal. He picked up those first 2 kills. I think he was 2 and 6 or so before that round, so really stepping it up.
Must-win round for FaZe here.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's a must-win round for FaZe.
Do they mix anything up? Look, they've kind of stacked the B site. They're going forward. Almost gets one. That shot looked pretty good from Zuma. Not able to pick it up, though. One pushes inside bunker. Clayster able to pick off Crimsix, and Formal's been the one kind of going towards bunker most rounds. I wonder why they opted
they tried to get Crim aggressive through bunker because you notice you haven't seen. I know when Formal went over there, he didn't push it right away, but he didn't see anyone. Clay was just hiding around that corner.
Oh, yeah, he
so
played
OpTic
really, really
probably
slow.
thought that they were not playing anybody inside bunker, and they were able to push it really fast.
Does he see his head? He didn't see his head. Now the shot's coming in. Was that a snipe from Attach coming over his head?
Snipe, yep.
You see it flying right over, just whiffs by a bit. Scump will live another day. They're going to get the bomb down. 2 down, though. Karma, Formal, left alive. Now, what does Formal have his vision pulse? So close to being ready. Karma has the heat wave. How do you chain these two together, Matt?
I tell you what, they have the sniper of Attach, and Attach actually picks up 1. Karma's going to challenge him with a pistol.
All right, well, that's it.
And, well, Karma has an HC and Heat Wave. Was on a 4 streak. Do you try and just play for streaks in some regard? Pick up 1 or 2 and then kind of run away? I mean, at that point, you're in a 1v3. Granted, you planted the bomb, but I feel like you get a lightning or I don't know what he was running. Was he running a dart or lightning? You get closer towards that streak, let's say. You have a pretty good chance to win this.
Formal, I don't know if when we hopped to him, he was kind of hopping out with his back turned to lot there. I don't know if he was worried. He didn't check the corner behind the car, was worried there might be a player there, or he was just checking up top. When we went to him, it was just kind of an awkward sequence of events, and he's going to get picked off by Attach from behind. Attach able to close out on both of those players. Now let's go to offense here for FaZe. Who do you want to take a look at?
Let's see who's going to be pushing up here for FaZe. And let's see if anyone has any. So Attach has Kinetic, and you still have that Heat Wave on Enable. I actually want to see how Attach uses the Kinetic. He's going to be on this outside wall run area. Does he elect to just push up into Mansion? It's going to be Zuma getting that first blood on a Karma. Not going to be able to use the Kinetic, as you're going to see Formal win that gunfight. Clay wins a big one, though. Downstairs versus Crim. It's going to be only one person up for OpTic Gaming. Going to be Scump. World of trouble, and FaZe, one round away, man.
This has been so back and forth. I mean, the first couple rounds, like, kind of FaZe, OpTic. Then OpTic finally puts together 2 rounds.
What did I say the score was going to be before this one?
You said 6-4 FaZe. It's looking like it might be, and that's back-to-back rounds for FaZe. Can they close this one out 6-4 and tie the series up 1-1? It's going to come down to this round here from OpTic Gaming back onto offense.
On a defensive side with those abilities, FaZe, I think this is the round you use.
You use it and close it out. So do you want me to go to attach, maybe?
OpTic is stacked. No, you need to go on with OpTic. So they have everything. They have Vision Pulse, they have Kinetic, they have Active Camo, and they have Heatwave. They have everything. They're fully loaded up.
Then this could certainly go round 11, but it's Zuma getting aggressive. Again, he's able to pick up one. That is going to get traded out, though. They're able to turn this into a 3v3. Karma finds one up top, can't finish the kill. The second player pushes. The other one's weak as well. Karma can't clean it up, though. One player left up top. All of a sudden, Clayster left by himself. Scump as well. One-on-one. Clayster and Scump here for game 2. He finds him there, and Clay just zips him up. Scump, we'll see you later.
Was that a second ace for Clay?
No, Zuma got the opening. Zuma got the first blood. But so I think Zuma got four first bloods. Clayster, I think, had 7 kills in two of those rounds. Wow. Scump got evaporated there. That was awesome.
Clay versus Scump 1v1.
Sharp shooting, man. Woo!
I mean, compared to the first map, that looks like a different player. I mean, map 1, he couldn't hit anything.
That's exactly what we said he needed to do.
But
have a big game 2, bounce back, go off in S&D. We'll take a look at the closing stats on that one. But FaZe going big. You know, when they had their backs up against the wall, you said it was a must-win when it was, what, 4-3, and then they rip off 3 straight there. That's a resilient team. They do an impeccable job.
Goes up 5-3, and then they go on the defensive side, and they probably would have had at least 2 of those abilities. Like Karma had Heatwave for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then you probably would have gotten, I think the camo is the next one to pop up on Crim. You definitely would have had at least one of those abilities.
Yeah.
You figure they close it out in defensive round.
All right, well, let's take a look at these stats here in just a second. Obviously, we're going to be going to Uplink next. We'll have to talk about who that potentially favors. But FaZe, excellent job tying up the series. Now let's look at the scoreboard. Who were the heroes of this one? You see Zuma. I mean, it was really Zuma and Clay. So I think potentially 7 of the 9 kills for Clayster came in 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And then for Zuma, I'm pretty sure, I mean, I can think of Zuma having, I think, at least 4 first bloods. And a lot of that came, you know, most teams kind of turtle up inside a mansion. You try to hold on defense. 2 times he pushes out from lower out into rocks, gets first blood out there. Just that puts the offensive team on their heels so much.
And a lot of people will say it's like, when you're playing against Zuma, it's like, oh, that's so random. Like, why would he go out and challenge that? But
he did it 3 times.
He's a smart S&D player. Like, he has those types of pushes calculated with the flow of the game. Take a look at some highlights. But on the side of OpTic, Karma goes 9-7. Scump goes 6-7, gets the bomb down 4 times on the offensive side.
Well, and one thing to mention, you know, in that 10th round, that second player that Karma fought up top, did that ultimately end up being
attached with Kinetic.
Okay.
That's why he didn't die. You were like, oh my god, he's eating a ton of shots. But this player right here, you see attached with Kinetic, I believe.
I didn't realize he popped it.
I think it was.
Yeah, it definitely was attached to got the kill. So yeah, it certainly probably was his Kinetic then. Because yeah, it seemed like he got a couple bursts in him. And then look at this shot from Clay, Lord in heaven.
Oh. I wish I can kill people like that, man.
That was filthy.
I'd be playing.
You'd be a professional player?
If I can kill people like that? Oof. Oh, yeah.
Just absolutely destroys Scump. So, and I mean, Scump didn't have a chance in that one.
Oh, yeah, he has no shot.
Evaporated. But, all right, let's talk then going into Uplink. It's going to be on Fringe. Favorite map for both these teams. You know, they love this particular game mode. Who are you giving the advantage to and why?
I don't think either team has an advantage on this one. Because
I kind of feel like that for the whole series, right?
So, like, I think Scump, you know, he turned up really in the second half of that respawn.
Sure.
The Hardpoint. But now we go over to Fringe, which SMG players, I don't want to say they struggle on, but it's a lot tougher for SMG players to succeed on this map. And then you're going to have, I think it's going to be a battle of the AR players. Which guys for OpTic really step up with the ARs to help formal out? Obviously, you're looking at Karma and Crim. And then on the side of FaZe, you're going to put, I think it's actually kind of a blessing in disguise because now Clay is going to have to get back to using an AR because we saw him with the sub really struggle in game 1. Like,
yeah,
I think
11-29, uncharacteristic for Clay.
11-29 in a Hardpoint.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you're playing against, you're not going to win.
Well, he comes back in a big way because you got to think about it. I mean, did he have the most kills on his team? No. I mean, that goes to Zuma, and Zuma's first blood's likely one of the most important things. But when you win, you know, you win by 2 rounds, and then he basically won 2 rounds for his team.
Won the first round, he got an ace.
The ace for sure. Yeah. I'd have to go back and see how many of those Clay actually got. I'm not positive he got 3 in that one, but I can't wait to watch that game again because so many big kills, so back and forth. Yeah. Ultimately, FaZe is going to edge this one out, but we're right back into the action. Let's go. Bam Protect, Fringe, Uplink coming up next. Let's see what kind of breaks the mold. We've had, you know, Tacticals kind of being knocked out. We've had the 2 attachments being taken out. Do you see the Shiva attacked in this one? I imagine, well, okay, well, yeah.
Well,
That answers my question.
Well, those are the first two.
The first two things I was going to mention were Receive and Overdrive.
Yeah, I was going to mention Overdrive.
Yeah.
No, we think the same. That's so
sad. Great. You know,
anyway.
we're close friends. We cast together quite frequently.
We do.
We're going on a double date this weekend.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I'm going to let you and Chelsea plan that one.
Yeah, I would never let you plan anything.
No, you're paying for dinner. Thanks, buddy.
That is not anything that was agreed upon. You're just kind of throwing that on me in the last minute.
I'll tell you what. How about this? How about this?
Yeah?
We each get to pick a team to win this series. Loser buys dinner this weekend. And if you're feeling OpTic, I will take FaZe.
It's very tempting.
I will leave the pick to you.
Oh, why would you do that?
I'll leave the pick to you. You don't have to. You think about it. You think about it.
Let me think of it. Let me look at the rest of the maps.
You got to decide. You got to decide.
You got a fringe uplink. We got a
somebody scores this
uplink. Evac S&D.
I mean, Kat's a vegan, dude. She basically doesn't eat. She'll have like a salad.
That's true. So it won't even be that bad.
I'm gonna have 6 steaks and like 82 beers.
No. We're making strict rules here. Strict rules here. Give me OpTic. Give me OpTic.
Are you taking OpTic? I'm taking FaZe. All right. Losers buying dinner. I like it.
Well, you're going to see Karma go with Heatwave. Fully expected Naval to go with Heatwave on the other side of things. I don't think he goes with anything else other than that. Where do we see Clay go? Specialist-wise, you see him go Annihilator. So you figure Zuma going to go Scythe. No Kinetic in this game, so I think you'll probably see Scump go towards Active Camo. Makes a lot of sense. See Scump go Camo there. Now, what does Attach like to do? Attach probably goes Camo as well. So Attach is going to go Heatwave.
Enable, do you think Enable's going to quit out of the game? Does Enable know how to play without it?
So Enable's going to go Camo. Very interesting.
All right, okay.
When have we seen that happen?
I'm pretty sure every single time Heatwave's been in a game, Enable's been
able to pick it.
I'm fairly confident. I mean, I haven't cast every single FaZe map,
neither have I,
but
I think every time I've seen FaZe play, Enable is running Heatwave if it's allowed.
So if FaZe struggles this game, I blame Attach.
No, I don't blame it on that.
I mean, I'm rooting for FaZe now. I have to.
Both teams, same exact thing. Yeah. Clay with the Annihilator, Krim with the Annihilator. Going to be looking for the guys with the weapons to really set up, kill the players on the overextensions, trying to wrap back towards their base. You know, when you get control of the other team's base.
Sure.
I like Camo and Uplink a lot. I'm surprised we didn't see that
one. I like Camo and Uplink because if you get to that halfway point, you get a couple dead, let's say 2 down. I mean, it's pretty much a 1-pointer guaranteed. You should get 1 through. It almost guarantees a dunk if you get in close range.
Camo better than Kinetic on Uplink?
They're pretty close, right?
They're close.
They both
kind of
guarantee
always
that
see
toss.
Kinetic gone, and we never. Well, we see Camo go sometimes, but I feel like we see a lot more emphasis on Kinetic.
I think Camo's I say Camo's probably better for like getting a score. Kinetic's got more use in a lot of other situations, but not really. I mean, Camo, if you're trying to retake middle, you know you're getting pushed. Even if you come off spawn, you're getting pushed in base, you could pop Kinetic or Camo to really retake. They're both, even though they're so different, they're kind of similar in what kind of results they'll produce because Kinetic you usually are only going to get a kill or 2. Same with Camo, usually leads for a kill or 2.
Yeah, but Camo can get you in a position that can open up the map for the rest of the team.
True.
It's a little bit of a trade-off.
I love them both.
A little bit of trade-off. I love them both as well. Love them both as well. Heatwave, I think, is one that on Uplink, I want to say like we're not going to see it as much, just because we've seen some big plays like near the goal and whatnot with Heatwave.
Well, I like when you're shutting down. I actually like its counter ability versus a Camo or a Kinetic. You know, if you have that player flying into score, we saw it earlier. You know, you hit that player. It was a Camo player, hit him with Heatwave. What was his slasher in that S&D? He hits Camo. He's like, oh, I got this kill. Heatwave hits him in the face.
We saw Diabolic using the CTF against Aix where he's going for the return, hits it, and he just falls to his death. But game loading up. It's going to be a Fringe Uplink, unlimited score limit, a 5-minute time limit on the clock. Team's going to switch sides at halftime. Get a fair shot from both sides of the map, and then a respawn delay of 5 seconds. So once you see one or two players dead for a respective team, you're going to see the other team try and push up the map, whether they have some weapons, use those, try and kill the people coming off spawn, set up to really rally those scores in.
All right, well, let's kick things off here with Krem6. He'll be having the Annihilator, rocking an M8 and a Simtex. He's going to be tossing a grenade basically at that white truck right at the corner, not able to connect the players right in front of him. He's going to get taken out at L-Wall. Nice positioning there by the members of FaZe. They've got 2 down already. They've got pushing for drone control. Ultimately going to end up falling, but it's going to go to Clay. Clay trying to move it forward. Pushing through L, has one in the back. Nice shots there. Going to take the head off of Krem. Frustrating start here for Krem, but Clay has come alive. He struggled in game one, but Clayster's back, baby. He can't find the ball,
for a second, yeah.
He's so excited. He kills 3. If he picked up the drone there quickly, I think that was a score. Would he have gotten a one-pointer, maybe?
Well, so he had 2 teammates coming down towards tracks, and he was really relying on them to pick up some kills, and he was going to go for those guys coming off spawn at top Grandma. They don't pick up the kills and just kind of throws away a scoring opportunity here. So you're going to see OpTic just kind of...
You need the ball. Somebody goes back and gets it.
There you go. Go back, get the ball. You're going to see Karma start to bring the drone up towards tracks. They wasted a lot of time, but they're able to get the drone pretty far up. He makes it past
how is he not shot? What is happening?
Gonna get off a shot.
Oh,
no,
just misses. And
Formal is there. He's a one-on-one against one player from
FaZe. See him cross? I don't think he did. The X-ray, I know, makes it a bit easier. I don't think he saw him cross. He's got one on bridge. He's out pushing from every angle, tries to challenge. He's given his team so much time to push up here. Someone should be able to make a play, and that player is Crim6. Formal did such an excellent job there pushing them back. He opens up that 2-piece there.
Yeah, it's going to be everybody dead for FaZe. There's one player who's actually
stuck
inside small door. Now you start to see, yep. You're going to see FaZe go immediately on that overextension. OpTic going to score and put the first points on the board here, going up 2-0.
But this player that wrapped up top, I thought he was in a prime position to possibly make a play, but he's going to get taken out as well. Zuma trying as well. That's going to get pushed. They're getting bullied right now. OpTic Gaming rolling forward. Going to hop off the wall. Nice movement there. It's Krim flushing another one through.
That's actually a huge kill. Krim is 50 off of streaks at that point. So Clay, even though he dies there to Karma, it's a big kill to get Krim as he flies through the goal.
And this is so funny. You see a player kind of top bar, and they just keep overextending, try to pick something up. Enable able to shut one down there. He actually gets 2. So Enable rotating into top Grandma's really able to make an impact on the game. They kind of, the floodgates open for a moment, but I think they've slowed down for now.
Yeah, that's huge for FaZe to get control of their base.
Well, maybe not. I mean, this pressure is still coming, actually. Karma pushing around the top side.
Well, now they're spawning back alley yet again. So I think Formal... I was going to say he probably throws this one over the top, and you're going to see Scump with the HC trying to get close towards that guy in the back. Not able to do so. Formal going to toss that one in. A 5-0 lead for OpTic Gaming here.
They're looking good. You know, Enable and crew doing everything they can to really get out of this trap. They thought they fought out of it when Enable overextended there into Grandma's, but ultimately it's had the same result. They haven't been able to get forward. The best pressure they've had was really Clayster with that early 3-piece. Now they're trying to push through tax. You got a couple behind White Truck trying to put shots in. Not
just
able
think
to pick
how
it up
different the game would be if they converted that into points. And you force OpTic to kind of go back towards their base. You see 2 dead, 4 FaZe, make it 3, and now OpTic in a perfect spot to bring the drone up the map. There's one player in barn, Clay, the last line of defense for FaZe. Teammates rotating back. You have Scump using that camo, being able to pick up one, not going to get anyone else with it. Now you're going to have Krim rotate this one. He's going to go for this one-point shot over the building. And
you'd want kinetic, right? You maybe pick up 2 kills there if you're Scump. You maybe pick up a couple and lead to a dunk there. I mean, he still gets that effective kill. I know he picks up one with camo, but I don't know. It's wild. Both weapons so strong, and the points just keep flying. And there's a toss in the back. Who's going to be the player to grab it? You got Formal back here picking up kills, trying to pin them back alley. You have Karma doing it as well. He saw one, going to push forward with the L-car, just trying to find the ball. Where is it? He slides in. Can he grab it and get off the toss? That's a heat wave coming in, I believe, to shut him down. Make sure no more points on the board for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, big play by Attach, and you're going to see. Looks like FaZe thinking about overextension with the drone. They're actually going to bring it back towards that mid-street, but look at this Scump set up in a perfect spot. He was top bar.
No,
able to pick up the second one.
Able to pick up 2. Great positioning, like you said, to watch that drone
I thought his teammates were going to pick that kill up mid-map. Zuma doing a great job staying alive, just trying to preserve the base of FaZe. Karma now with the drone, going to bring this one through that cut over by Barn. Going to toss it in for 1. And Mate, this first half has just been completely one-sided.
It really has. This is reminiscent of the Game 1 Hardpoint we saw. I mean, the only factor you have going for you right now, FaZe, you took an S&D. If you can pull this the distance, if you bring it to a Game 5, you got to feel pretty good about your chances. But in the respawns right now, you just cannot hang. I mean, I'm not saying this game's over, but 7-0, and you didn't see any life out of FaZe. They haven't been able to really do anything successful. No points on the board, no real attacks, no shots on goal. You know, that's when you're talking about soccer or something, it's a stat you look at, like shots on goal. It kind of shows, you know, how offensive-minded a team has been, how much pressure they're able to apply. I mean, the answer is 0 for FaZe. They didn't get forward at all into that kind of, you know, OpTic Gaming half.
And you want to just talk about I don't even think you want to talk about shots on goal, but just possession with the drone.
Yeah, possessions, that's a big stat too, yeah.
The only time you saw FaZe with the drone in hand was when they were just, the opening 30 seconds, and then when they tried to get it out of their base.
Yeah,
they were just
true.
The only time they had is when they were trying to use it defensively, never got the drone and tried to push up.
If 90% of the time you're holding the drone is in your own base, probably an issue.
Yeah, you're probably losing. Anyway, second half. Formal putting some shots on top Grandma. A little bit slower. It looked like FaZe trying to force some action down over by Trax. Some fantastic long-range shots by Zuma, but that's going to be 3 dead for FaZe. OpTic Gaming on the push yet again. Clay needs to go big with the Annihilator here. 0 for 1, 0 for 2.
I thought I saw the Annihilator early on. I thought I saw that, like, kind of from window. You saw that little dot, but I didn't see any shots coming out from him. He just wasn't able to really hit anything.
3 dead for FaZe again.
And
this is tough.
Should be Dunk City. They're getting forward. There's still 2 in the back, though. Able to play defense here. Can they close it out? Scump trying to push forward, taking shots as Formal's going to pick up 2. Drone still in a precarious position here for FaZe, but ultimately they're able to pick it up and get it out.
The beginning went for FaZe in the first half, right? OpTic gets the drone in the FaZe base. You think they're going to score and they don't get any points out of it. Let's see if FaZe can turn things around, score some points here. I feel like they just need, to get 1-3 down and get control of the OpTic base, and they can really start to open things up.
And this has been, this is a tough map for a sub player for sure. And Attach, you can see, really struggling to make an impact.
But we have seen him actually have really good games on this map.
He has, but
one of the better SMG players on Fringe.
It's tough when you're playing a team like OpTic Gaming, though, right? A little bit of a different beast when you're a sub player in a map like this.
Especially going up against 3 top flight ARs, and it's going to be 2 dead. For OpTic Gaming. The drone is going to be in the hands of Clayster. He's going to toss it down, try and get some armor back as Enable pushes up into top barn. I think they're waiting for this teammate to come down tracks and then going to start to push this drone up. But I hear a scythe, and is that Zuma or is that a defensive one by Formal? It's going to be a defensive scythe in the hands of OpTic Gaming. Formal just really preventing FaZe from going anywhere with the drone. You see Scum picks up 1 with that camo coming around the left-hand side.
Now,
nothing.
I get why you slow down. Is it because you feel like you need to get dunks at this point? Like they're not wanting to go for 1-pointers?
Well, no, they needed more players over there. It was only Clay and Enable on that side of the map.
You don't think they could have got a 1-point toss?
With a scythe in the back?
Formal might miss.
There is no way he misses coming down that alley with a scythe.
Hey, they're on the board now.
Throw. But now you have 3 dead. Now you give OpTic kind of a fast break scenario mid-map. You're going to have to see Attach play this perfectly, use Heatwave to his advantage. And it's actually going to be OpTic just pushing everyone over by Trax. Going to have nobody over towards mid-map. Karma gets shut down over by Z, and you're going to have Attach cross. Now he's going to pick up an AR. Try and slay a little bit here, and then FaZe can get that drone control yet again. But FaZe is playing this really slow.
Yeah, it's tough because
it's tough, right?
I don't mind watching them play methodical, but it's just that they have so little time to work with. 2 minutes is a lot, but you have to get points on the board at this point. That's another 3 down. That's going to be a toss out. If one player would have stayed alive, I think at L, whoever that, I would think that was Crim6, they would have had a good opportunity to get forward. Enable's going to win a key gunfight and trying to slow down any potential OpTic pusher. He is just going to gun Karma there at top barn. You can see.
But I feel like all you've seen so far, I mean, you see like FaZe get 2 dead, and then you see OpTic return with some kills. You haven't seen like a 3 dead out of OpTic Gaming, where FaZe gets control of their base and they're able to push. I feel like it's just been kills just traded back and forth.
Hey, it really, really has. You can tell just by the scoreline here, 7-1, 90 seconds to go. FaZe needs something, needs some life. Try to pull this back, make this a closer game. We're watching Zuma pushing through middle, trying to get drone in hand. There's one player there on the white truck, and that's going to be a Semtex basically on his foot. He somehow stays alive. He's going to have the armor now with the drum, trying to wrap here through wood, see if he can get points on the board. He's got some coverage in the back.
And FaZe has control of their base.
This is absolutely a dunk. So what happens in the overextension? This is the key fight now when you get the dunk. Attach is going to be here at Bricks. How does this play out?
Well, they're actually going all the way on the overextension.
Well, that's what Enable did as well. Remember, he went top Grandma's and got a lot of kills on the board.
And Attach tries to get that pass in the top barn, but it doesn't connect.
They basically flipped entirely. So the overextension here, the 4 men just grouping around the back for OpTic Gaming worked out beautifully. And now they have drone in hand, and they have FaZe base control. This is going to be a, kind of a slow counter dunk, I guess, as it's really going to opt to get forward, and that's going to fall. I think the Scumpy here is he's going to have a dunk, gets it through, 9-3 OpTic Gaming, and that was textbook.
So the dunk gets it right away.
Overextension.
Well, if you're going to make that play, you need to go together. What we saw FaZe do is they kind of split.
2 and 2,
they saw, one guy go into Bricks, and Enable on top Grandma go on the overextension. If you're going to make that call, you got to go everybody together, because if you don't, obviously you see the train just keep going It's what OpTic did to FaZe in that first half. In the second half, FaZe not really with any answers, as it looks like it's going to be an OpTic Gaming win, 9-3 here on Fringe Uplink.
And that was, I mean, that's all about side one, right?
Yeah.
OpTic goes up 7-0. They just kind of, they get the train going.
Preserve the lead in the second half,
You have games that are about getting, one-pointers whenever you can sneak them in, and then games are about getting that spawn trap on, relaying through dunks. And that's what OpTic did. I think they had kind of 3 dunks in succession, really, when they started to force that back alley spawn. Did a really, really good job. And you saw the difference. The one time that FaZe was able to get that same position, the difference in kind of how the teams reacted. Like, FaZe, I remember the one time they got Enable to top Grandmas. He did a pretty good job dealing with it. He picked up a couple kills, slowed them down. But when OpTic was able to push all 4 back, not only did they pick up the kills, but they then had control of FaZe's base because they had more than one player there, and they also get through the points. So OpTic just outplayed them. I mean, that was fun to watch.
It's really just those decisions on the overextension. And the biggest thing is you just got to make that decision as a team. You got to send all 4 players one way. You really got to commit to it. Saw FaZe, when they tried to do it, like you said, Enable would go to top Grandma. They would have a guy fighting bricks.
And
one guy trying to rotate
2 kills,
back.
But the
and
difference
they just never.
They got those 2 kills on OpTic, but then again, there's people there to like control the base, control the spawns, keep getting kills. Whereas Enable was just like, I need help.
Yeah.
Someone assist me.
Yeah, just not the best player right there from FaZe. So they go 2-1 down in this series. Going into a breach CTF, how you feeling about FaZe?
Listen, I thought OpTic was potentially going to win 3-0, but I have dinner on the line now. I'm picking FaZe. Game 4. They're pushing this to 5. Honestly, man, I just want to see 5. The fans deserve 5 in this particular series. Really, really want to see this one go all the way for sure.
Scump was a huge difference in this.
Break down these stats for me, buddy.
I mean, Scump goes 24-15. I feel like he was picking up some really big kills in and around the drone. You get attached 10-22. How difficult it is for the SMG players on this map. Those 2 guys, just the disparity in kills alone, I mean, that is just massive. And the side of FaZe, you saw Zuma with a +1 game. I mean, not like the craziest stat line, but still, with the way the game was going, for him and Enable to both go positive, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like weird, but at the same point, you're locked in your spawn or locked in your spawn trap for so long to still finish positive. It's a very weird stat line.
All right, let's take a look at some highlights here. I mean, in this first side, it was all OpTic. And that play from Clay was so sick, but there's nothing came out of it. You can see the 6-0 lead. It really came down to getting that spawn at back alley. They got set up.
They needed points early.
Through.
They needed points early, FaZe. When they got that good start from Clay, they needed those points at the beginning.
Well, especially, I mean, when you talk about Uplink, again, it's not as slow and methodical as something like CTF. It's about getting points when you can. When you get those 2, 3 down, you have to turn those into points. If you don't, and then you get penned like you saw what happened to FaZe. I mean, you need to get points whenever they are available. And it was just kind of an awkward situation. I think it was just Clay kind of waiting for a teammate to come. He got the 3 kills. I don't know if he could have picked it up and got a point.
Well, he had 2 teammates coming down track. So his mindset at that point, obviously I'm not Clay, I can't really speak for it, but at least in my head is he killed those 2 guys. There's probably 1 coming off spawn all the way in the back. You throw that drone into the back of the base over by the dome. You have those 2 players coming down tracks. He can kind of watch that front. You can watch the Grandma jump up. He can watch over by that fence. Can watch that front side, and then those guys just funneling through tracks would have been able to pick up those kills. They probably thought only 1 guy was off spawn. It was really 2.
Sure.
If it's that 1 guy in the back, you're probably able to win that 2v1 scenario, put in some points, and you still have Clay locking down the front of the base.
Okay.
I understand the decision there.
Oh, yeah,
just didn't work out in their favor.
It's just, I don't know if it's a little slow to develop, players dropping, trying to catch up to Clay, but, when you have that great play, you hope to get some points on the board. But ultimately, OpTic, they take it. They've won both the respawns now. We're going to go to our 3rd respawn. The question is, are they just going to shut it down? This is where, when you look through all of Advanced Warfare, that was the game for OpTic. They won all of their respawns. Were they up and down on S&D sometimes? Sure. But when it came to respawns, you didn't beat them for the most part, unless you were FaZe at times. Can FaZe muster up the strength here and take a respawn? That's the question.
Well, last year we had 2 hardpoints. So now you have to be better at more respawn game modes. Sure. Obviously, we throw CTF back into the mix, get into the Banner Protect phase, you're going to see Smokes and Overdrive go instantly. Those are 2 of the fastest first votes we've had in a very long time. You're going to have Rapid Fire go, High Caliber, probably not too long to follow. You're going to have Camo go as well. So Camo and Overdrive, 2 abilities targeted early.
Yeah, not shocked to see that, especially the combination of, well, really either of those abilities with Smoke can be so effective in getting in, getting out very, very quickly, putting points on the board. You got to imagine Flashbangs and High Caliber are going to be 2 of these final 3. What else gets taken out? Maybe Kinetic, potentially. Think it goes high caliber.
Potentially kinetic.
Flashbang kinetic.
Shiva still in.
Flashbangs Shiva, game changer on Breach, really?
No, not really. Especially like a Breach CTF.
All right,
nah,
well, I didn't Shiva. I didn't think, honestly, if the Shiva was in the game, I didn't really see anyone using it. But then again, you saw Karma light it up with the Shiva.
He did.
It was on Fringe, I think, but he just put on a show with that thing. So if you saw that as a FaZe player, you might have been like, nope, we don't feel like dealing with that.
This is so odd. Enable goes back to Heatwave. Why would they switch it up for that just one game?
You know, Attach can be kind of a troll. It's one of those things where he's like, I'm going to take Heatwave this time and deal with it. It was kind of odd, though, right? Like, I feel like we haven't seen it at all. I'd like to hear what the reasoning was. If it was just a preference thing for that particular game type and map, it very well could have been. But I'm curious as to why. And it could be, honestly, Heatwave. We always talk about how it's weird that Enable use Heatwave sometimes because he's not as aggressive. He plays a little more aggressive than some AR players, but Heatwave makes more sense on Attach sometimes because he plays fast, right?
Right. And main difference here, you're going to have Formal with a Scythe, Zuma with an Annihilator. We've seen some good stuff out of Zuma with the Annihilator, especially on the Breach CTF. I believe we casted that game where they were trying to get the flag out in the last seconds, and Zuma was just kind of hopping over the fence. Evidently, this is hopping over the fence, putting down shots. That's kind of the hand motion for it. But
look like you're like, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm just kind of moving my hands like this. I'm not really describing much of anything. But he was jumping over the fence, putting down shots with the Annihilator, and some nice plays on the defensive side with it from Zuma. Annihilator versus Scythe and CTF. Any preference for you?
No, I mean, we talked about this a bit in the last series. I think I still take a Scythe, personally. So they went with what? Just the one. So this is the same situation we had in the last series, right? Where you kind of decide what's better. I think I would prefer a Scythe, but it's a player preference. What are you more comfortable with coming up with a big play? We've seen the Annihilator. I'm trying to think what series it was. I think it was H2K. I believe it was legal with Annihilator. Had like 3 returns that were basically based off Annihilator plays.
We did see that.
He had a couple scores, so you can certainly make an impact with either of them. And again, the reason I like the Annihilator a little bit more sometimes is just the atom ability. You can kind of make plays a little more, whereas you kind of literally turn into a turret when you have the Scythe. You can't really
you're literally a robotic turret.
You can't be as mobile just due to the kind of the startup time on it. But I don't know. It'll be fun to watch.
Why not a Sparrow then, Maeve?
Which one can make more impact? I don't know. After seeing Karma just basically click and it flew across the map, I didn't even know that was possible. I thought it just would come out and...
No. I mean, shoots a lot faster now.
Same
with the Tempest.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of it yesterday when we were on the secondary stream. We saw a lot of the Tempest.
Yeah, we haven't seen any at all today.
I don't think we haven't seen any of it today.
We saw it in almost half of our games, I think, yesterday.
Oh, yesterday we definitely saw it. Yesterday we were seeing the Scythe banned out.
It's true.
And we were seeing players use Tempest.
That leads to the Tempest for sure.
Yeah, that definitely leads to
It's kind of that next weapon, in the hierarchy. If it's not a map where the Purifier really comes into play. But players getting ready to load in here. It's going to be CTF now. If you are just tuning in, OpTic 2-1 advantage over FaZe. They've controlled the respawns. We're going into our 3rd and final respawn of this series. I want this to go Game 5 so desperately.
So do I. I want to see a Game 5.
Yeah. I think we if we agree on anything, we rarely do. It's certainly that.
Yeah, we agree on a lot, surprisingly. It's going to be a Breach CTF, unlimited score limit, 5-minute time limit. Team's going to switch sides, give them an even shot. Both respawn points on the map. Then you're going to have a 7.5 respawn delay. So obviously, I mean, we kind of upgrade the respawn delays, right? Hardpoint's such a fast game, you're not going to have any. Uplink a little bit slower, but you're going to have a 5-second respawn delay. CTF, probably the slowest of the 3 respawn game modes. Going to have to play pretty methodical, and those deaths really going to hurt you.
All right, well, let's kick things off, starting with Formal. He's going to get challenged there from bottom middle, or top middle, however you'd like to refer to it. It's going to be attached there, picking up one with the VMP. Now, we should be able to tell kind of early what kind of game we're going to get. Is it going to be a very, very fast game? Is it going to be a little more slow and methodical? You're going to see kind of a game of cat and mouse outside here. That's going to be Enable able to close out Scump, playing there at the top outskirts.
You're going to see 3 ARs, 1 SMG from both teams.
Okay, that makes sense.
So just taking that start, yeah. And you're going to have Krim, actually, the only one not using a M8. He's actually going to have the Man of War in his hands. I'll actually check and see if he keeps with that through the respawn. But I don't really hate the Man of War selection on this one just because you can get in those close-range gunfights.
It's a little bit easier, right?
It's a little bit easier than the M8, yeah.
Sure. Well, both teams now applying pressures, kind of keeping the minimap open because both are going to be flying through, potentially getting pulls. One coming in for Clayster. Let's check the other side because Scump could be the one. in a spot maybe to make a play here. If he doesn't, this is surely a cap, right? He's got one player inside the lab.
I don't think they have any idea
he tries to get it. Oh, Enable was watching the back, or sorry, Attach was watching the back, and that's going to be a cap early on. FaZe putting one through. Clayster gets it. The defense coming in from Attach, and Zuma starting out 0-1 is now ripped off 5 back-to-back. Really going big here for the team. Let's see if he can keep pushing this as he's getting close to his Lightning and that much closer to the Cerberus.
Getting the Cerberus would be huge. I mean, with the update to that score streak and how potent it is now, I mean, you would definitely save that for a second half, obviously, if you got that, and that is one of the best defensive things you could have at your arsenal. But Crim still fighting this player over on the B
so many
side.
bullets into the FaZe player. Finally going to get pushed there at top glass. Karma, though, still here, trying to pick this up, trying to find the player that's pushing. There's, what, 2 below him, I believe. He's ultimately a drop. Scumps up by himself right now, Matt.
I think the biggest thing here, though, is Zuma's 25 off streaks.
Look where the spawn comes in, though. They spawn.
Oh, wow. They spawn very far in Palace.
All the way out at Palace. So this could be a real surprise, and it absolutely is. Clayster was not ready for that at all. The spawn, so the problem is that because they had so many pushing into the base there, they had such a great influence on it, they spawned them out that far? Because you don't usually see them spawn the whole way out at Palace.
And there's one player actually over by the FaZe Flag 4 OpTic Gaming, and that's going to be Karma, and he's gonna be able to get the return,
He did get the return. I couldn't tell from the view that I had. It was right as he died, and OpTic ties this one up. And a big part of that is really, I mean, it's the spawn. You get that spawn there. Crim was able to get into the base and get the pull within what seemed like seconds, really, from his spawn. And Clayster, you could tell, was just not prepared for that at all in the base.
But Zuma pulls the flag now, and he's gonna be
chased. And who's behind him?
One player behind him. Karma again. Picking up
on the other side, though, has it out, Matt.
And he should be able to bring this one straight back towards Karma, bring this one down the right-hand side of the map. He's actually got one player to beat. It's going to be Attach. Attach able to win that gunfight.
Nice job from Attach.
Should be able to return it. And now you see, just believe it's Zuma coming off the spawn. Nobody in position to make a play on the flag. It's actually Enable, the closest one, coming up the middle of the map. And something I wanted to know when you were on with all these players, I was watching Zuma, and he doesn't get his streaks. He was shut down 25 points away from streaks.
Oh, I thought Enable might get 2 there. So, yeah, he had to have been close because he was on that 5 streak at one point. Attach, is he getting close? Nah, he's just close to the HC car. He's having a strong game, though. He's playing it slow, trying to keep eyes on a couple players here. It's going to be Crim on the offensive side. I was watching Attach as well. Does he get a pull here? He's got 2 players pushing him. He's in a tough spot. If he could win one, maybe give himself a chance, but not able to take it. Good defense there coming in from FaZe. And now pretty much a couple down from either side. And they're going to be vying for control here, kind of that 50-yard line.
Yeah, players just going to play over near that mid-map. So what you want to really do on CTF is just play for that mid-map control, get a few players dead, then you're going to try and flood one way, get them spawning in a spot that you know where they're going to be coming from. So when you're on FaZe's side, you want to attack that bottom broken, that top glass area, spawn them in that back left area or over by Palace. You want to pull the flag over towards where that B bomb site usually is, and then run it all the way down towards that second hardpoint room, and really force the guys on OpTic to either rotate back to their base or keep going all the way through Palace to your own flag.
I love the strategy lessons with Mr. X. It'll be a new series here, but no, love the information. Great for teaching new players kind of how they want to play this one, or aspiring amateur players. Give them some advice on how this map kind of ebbs and flows. But with 17 seconds left, is anyone in position potentially get a pull? Attach was the most forward player. There's another one coming in. That's Zuma. Can Zuma potentially get a pull? I don't think it matters at this point. Not enough time really to get anything up. So Matt, if you don't mind here, well, I was going to say, maybe when we start the second side, let's get an idea of who has abilities, who's working on streaks. It's tied 1-1. Does anyone have potential here to push this one? Ladies and gentlemen, tie game. Going to the second half here. OpTic Gaming looking to close out the series. It's been slow. It's been methodical. But you saw some really strong pulls here from either team.
I don't know if we have just not have caught it or didn't really talk about it, but let's take a look at the scoreboard at the beginning of the second half. I don't know. I don't believe that. Does Clay has 1 kill.
Clay, I don't think I hopped on with Clay once. That makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So this has now been, what? This is 2 respawns where Clay's really,
actually, the one kill he got is when they scored the flag, right?
That's true, so it's important. That's as valuable as 5 kills.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll stick up for him.
All right.
I agree. But I'll take a look at...
So right now, you're thinking about, if you're combining right now the Hardpoint in this game, he's 12 and 36.
Yeah, having a rough go in respawn. He came up big, though, in the search and destroy. We'll take a look. You have Enable with
That's what you need, though, if they push a game 5, right?
Yeah, you have Enable with Heatwave. That is it.
Karma has one as well on the other side.
And then on the other side,
Karma, find a third. There's 3 on defense. Karma going big, making it look easy. And on the other side, can Scump get a pull? He's going to find one. Matt, sorry to interrupt you, man. There's just the action was starting to come fast and furious.
I was going to say Scump was actually in position to make a pull, but it's going to be a formal setting up with the Scythe here. Not going to elect to use it. He's going to save it. There's an HC car by Karma up here on top green. It's actually just kind of forcing the guys on FaZe to stay in their base.
Clayster falls off the map, so his struggles continue. And was that enough to kind of push players back is the question. Can Formal and Crew get forward? He's all that. They want to attack. They want to converge. Now he's going to start getting forward. He has this Scythe trying to check that back.
You kind of go for the kill shot here. I mean, this is a great opportunity to score a flag.
Oh, where's the Heatwave come from? He can't find it. He gets tagged up. Can they pick it up 4 down? That's got to be a cap. Where's the spawn come, though? You see it come into Palace. So this player attached, going to be able to overextend very quickly, but he's the only
player
at
where the rest of his teammates spawn. They spawn all the way back at the flag.
So the difference there is
he drops,
they got out so quickly. They basically got in and pulled the flag and got out before the other players spawned. So it allowed them to spawn the back of the base. So ladies and gentlemen at home, that is huge, because if they forced all of them to spawn out like they did for Crim, what was it, 3 of them spawn Palace, I think, last time for OpTic Gaming, that led to a cap. OpTic does a much better job of kind of getting the flag and closing out, getting out of the base.
I was about to say Karma still going off, but he gets shut down. Just really weird in the kills department for both teams. Like, look at Enable and Zuma. 15 and 14 kills respectively from each. Make it 16 now for Enable.
Then on the side for
OpTic, I mean, you only have Karma at the one with double digits right now.
I'm trying to watch both these guys, both flags out, and they are heading for disaster. Who's going to win this one? He pops it, the battle back and forth. It was attached that won it, but then ultimately ends up dying. Who's going to get the return? Flag still out. I think Zuma ultimately will get the touch. Can they tie this up? He's got a bit of coverage. Karma mid-map, trying to lock this down. He's got a Heatwave. Can he pop it here? And then both of them fly up the map. He gets it. Karma with the return. 2:20 on the clock. Coming clutch. I thought they were both going to fly off the map at first.
I thought they were both going to fall there dead as well. Man. Karma goes massive there for OpTic Gaming. Wow.
That's a big defense, because he was the only one that really could make a play.
He was the only one in position.
There were some towards mid-map, but if he dies there, it's probably a cap, right?
They go high on the wall run and they cap that.
All right, well, now it's going to be Attached getting a kill on the outside. They're starting to push kind of towards the second hard point here. We'll see if they get forward, but you can see the OpTic, the wall, the green wall has stacked in the back. They're playing it safe here, playing a little bit of defense. Scump's going to get one with the HC. Crim nabs a kill as well, and now they're starting to push out, but a couple guys, the timing just ends up being so goofy here. I think they believe they're clear. Not anymore. Not anymore. Nice check by Krem. He knows he's got one at the corner. Gonna pre-fire this, able to grab one. Run the second hard point, 2 shots come in. Krem is going to fall, but if he doesn't pop that there, potentially two players could have stuck through the cracks, right?
Potentially they get that out towards that second hard point. Clay is there with the AR, and Clay's gonna pick up another one, so on a 3 streak is Clayster, and Scump trying to push into the base. Attach going to cut him down. Formal.
This player,
this is their best chance
they
right here.
Kind of have both sides watched, so they're able to get one. Can they hold off both? The 2 at home, I think, was Crim and Formal. They're not able to pick up one. That's Enable getting a kill. He turns around the MR6, tries to pick up another. He's going to drop 3 down now for FaZe. They're holding on. OpTic Gaming up 1. 50 seconds left to go here in Game 4. Can they take the series against FaZe? One going to drop top middle. That's going to be Attached. They have to try and get a flag out. They don't have time to work with. They've got to get forward. That's 3 down again. Oh, I think I saw a little bit of hump action coming in there. Karma letting one of the players know how he feels.
Karma definitely lets the other team frequently know how he feels during game. He's going to be only 75
20
from his
seconds
HC,
left.
But 20 seconds left.
Yeah,
Zuma.
This is it. This is your prayer.
The last.
He actually, this looks like a decent opportunity here. If he can get to mid-map, he has coverage here from Enable. Enable's got to go big. He can get one up top. He's going to lose that. Zuma drops as well. Attached by himself. That's 4 down, 4 seconds left. And that is going to ultimately be game. OpTic Gaming is going to take the first Stage 1 matchup against FaZe Clan. They get it done, and they get it done.
They get it done in Respawn.
They get it done in Respawn. They absolutely do. They've been a little bit up and down at S&D. I mean, so has a lot of teams right now in the CWL. But when it comes to Respawns, that's the bread and butter for OpTic Gaming. They close out. You saw a lot of big plays. I mean, it's almost like some of the games weren't as exciting. There weren't as many like big scream moments because these guys are so, to a degree, so evenly matched that like no one really, you didn't see a lot of big streaks. You didn't see players like really have huge games where someone drops like, 35, 40 kills. They're matched so evenly that it was just, it was back and forth. I mean, there weren't really, kind of stars shining exactly, I guess you would say.
No, not really. I mean, even this CTF, it goes really slow. A few big like moments, right, where we had the flags out from both sides, a few defensive stands, but overall, I mean, both teams so talented. You're not going to see, the crazy streaks. You're not going to see the Raps. You're not going to see the Cerberus really too much.
Not usually in a matchup of this caliber.
No, in the matchup of this caliber, but OpTic comes out today.
They do. They do. They're able to take it, and that is this series. One I think FaZe wants to forget, and specifically, Clay, an amazing player, but he had a couple of games that were just, duds to a degree. At 11 and 29 game one, goes 6 and 16 here.
On Clay's you expect Clay to really kind of shine in those respawn game modes, especially, the Hardpoint and this one. Really, just doesn't come up with great performances. Karma, 22 and 14 on the side for OpTic.
Look how many returns he had, too.
4 returns.
And one we saw, well, 2 we saw were really, really big. Like, 2 were kind of cap saving. Every return isn't always necessarily saving a score, but a couple of those we saw where he potentially may have absolutely saved a score.
And Enable and Zuma, yet again, I feel like these two guys have put up pretty strong performances. Even in the last Uplink game, they lose, but those guys still go positive. And this one, 19 and 12 from Enable, Zuma 19 and 15, just not enough.
Not enough to get it done. OpTic going to take the first matchup. So that is going to put them, now let me think. If it was, what did Envy 3-1, and they both 3-1. So Envy's still technically going to hold on to that first place by, I believe 1 map loss. Yeah. I could be wrong, but it's very, very close up top. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from this one. Just guys making big plays to get stops, get returns. I mean, you saw a couple standoffs really where both flags are out. One player had to come up big.
This is the play of the game,
more
right?
often than
this
not.
is where Karma comes from half wall.
Yeah, it should be. Karma comes through. You saw this
is
a cap.
Look at where everybody else is on the map. There's nobody close. If both of these players get by,
probably
the next closest guy is pretty much like right outside of Broken. They go high on that wall run, and they get up top and they go straight down onto the flag. That's cap.
And I'm glad we got to see that again because I wasn't sure if it definitely was. Because that certainly would have been a cap. And that's why I switched to him because he was the one guy that had a chance to make a play. He comes through. Perfect heat wave, hits both. We saw it in an earlier game when he hits the heat wave and the guys just like fell off the map. The flag goes off the map. I thought he was potentially going to pull that off. That would have been awesome. Epic. He just looks down and they're both just dropping to their desk. But now, an incredible series. OpTic Gaming, again, going to take it. We've got one more series coming up tonight. That's going to be Lumen.